Hello everybody, how is everyone? Hopefully your day is going well. Let's fire up some Pokemon. So I am, obviously, as the name suggests, I am the Lady Gamer. I am a broadcaster from the UK and I do this part-time along with attempting to hold a jump down. Why you do this? Why you do this? Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Not sure what happened there. Right. I need to remember where I was when I was doing this. So it's an electro gym. So I need ground type Pokemon to be a specific level. Let me have a look. Also means that. So I need to get Earth type Pokemon to a specific level, but I'm not quite sure what that level needs to be yet. I have a feeling maybe 45 should do. But it does also mean that I need to find places where ground is going to be the most efficient. Have I explored? No, there's one couple areas around here I haven't explored yet. I have a feeling that I might be better off going back up the mountain. Hi Bleach, how's it going? How is your Monday treating you? I'll tell you what, let me go to up there because they did have a habit of having a lot of electro type Pokemons in the mountain. Hey Car, how you doing? How is your Monday treating you? Where am I going? Alright, I'm going up to the top here. Because I have a feeling that this is going to be the most effective place for me to level up my ground type Pokemon. Good. I'm fine, thank you. It's been a bit of a strange day. For anyone that doesn't know, today was the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II, so we did watch that. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do it on my own, thank you. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird day. Most people had the day off work, myself included, because it's classed as a bank holiday. So if you've seen anything, I think it's currently the top trending thing on Twitter at the moment. So that is why. The frick is that? Yes, yeah, that was today. So she basically did about a 2-week. The coffin still sounds a bit weird, but yeah, the coffin did a bit of a 2-week journey around the UK to different kind of key locations, so people could kind of like wish them the best of. I don't. It's weird, but yeah, and they had different events where they would have her lying in state in different parts of the UK, as a kind of like a not ritual. Ritual's the wrong word. Ceremonial thing, that's the word. Sounds a bit less weird than ritual. Yeah, and then the actual funeral was today. She did. She lived a really, really long and good life. Oh, it's down here, isn't it? It's not you, is it? No. You know, I think a lot of 96. So I think that's the thing when a lot of people are were kind of surprised and shocked that she had passed away, and everyone was like, you know, she was 96, right? And then some people were trying to blame specific members in the family, and it was like it's really nothing to do with that. It's the fact that she's 96. And she was essentially still working. You know, she was still going to different ceremonies. She was still going to different things constantly around the UK. She was going on business trips and flying here, there, and everywhere, and driving here, there, and everywhere. Like that's a lot to expect of a 96-year-old woman. Yeah. Definitely, but you know, it doesn't make it any. It somehow makes it a little bit sadder because, hey, because it is kind of that. You know, she's been queen for as long as I've been alive, and she's also been queen for as long as my parents have been alive. You know, she ascended the throne in 1953, but she was technically queen from 1952. There was kind of like a year period of mourning after her dad died, so she was technically queen, but she wasn't coronated until 1953. So like my parents aren't that old. So she'd been in office like almost 10 years before my parents were born. So my parents have never known anyone but the Queen. I've never known anything but the Queen. It's not quite the same because Zach's only 2, but Zach's only known the Queen. So it was a weird day. It was very weird. Hammer arm. We'll swap it for that one, yeah. Yeah, you know. And it was also weird because they brought in a lot of the what got on my nerves was when I was at the Nights of Death. Some of the I didn't. Some people in the UK were the same. My opinion is always it. If you didn't like her, like okay, it's weird because you don't know her. Let's be honest, without sounding absolutely brutal, you don't know her. I don't know her. The vast majority of the people that I know don't know her. She's just this. She's been here. Don't get me wrong. You know, she's been part of my life for so long, but I never knew her. I never met her. So for people to turn around and laugh and make jokes about it, and it's like there's always a time and a place, and straight after she's died because you want your 15 minutes of fame. You know, they just all it is, they just want their 15 minutes of fame, and it's like there's a time and a place. I don't know. People just be weird. Queen Elizabeth II did not suffer from any kind of degenerative disease, but died of natural causes. Last February, she contracted COVID-19, which could have weakened the health of the. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, whenever I talk about her, I'm always kind of reminded of my husband's granddad, and it was kind of a very similar thing for her in the sense that he went downhill very, very quickly, and he likewise he fell. The Queen didn't fall, but my Dan's granddad fell over, and then he caught pneumonia and then passed away from that. So it's one of those things that she's 96. You know, without sounding dishonourable, something is going to get her at that age. You know, the human body is not really meant to live that long. But, you know, I think she went out the way I think everybody would like to go out, which was at home, surrounded by her friends and family, knowing that she'd had a good life. Like, to me, that's a freaking amazing send-off. No matter what anybody else says, no matter what jokes, etc. anybody wants to make, she did a lot of good for people. There were some things that I didn't necessarily agree with. There's a lot of things I don't necessarily agree with, but she lived a good life. She did the best that she could with the hand that she was dealt, which is all anybody can do. And she had an amazing family, had a amazing sense of humour, and yeah, she lived a good age and got to go out the way a lot of people would like to go out. So I kind of feel sorry for the people that took to TikTok and Twitter and that just went, do you know what, I'm going to get the most amount of traction by making fun of the death of the Queen, so that's what I'm going to do. I want my 15 minutes of fame to be embroiled in as much drama as possible, because then it might be something that I get remembered for. I kind of feel sorry for them. I feel sorry that that's the only way they feel that they can make an impact in the world, and they can't, do something productive or helpful to help people. I look at it this way: everybody dies, it's the family that suffer. Yeah, exactly. Like, the royal family is never going to see the videos that these people make. They're not going to care, because they know that there's going to be some absolutely awful people that kind of want their, ha ha ha, look at me, I've made fun of the Queen, aren't I edgy? They're not going to see that, but your friends and family are. And potential workplaces will as well. So maybe be careful what you put. Hate to say it. I've heard of more than a few occasions of people who have lost their jobs because of stuff they've posted online. I mean, I feel like I'm saying this from like a royalist point of view. I'm not a royalist in any way, shape or form. There is a lot I do not agree with in relation to the monarchy. So taking not so much the funeral's slightly different, but taking into account all of the weddings, etc. that they've had recently. Something that I don't agree with is the fact that the UK taxpayers had to pay for a lot of the weddings. I don't agree with that, because the state didn't pay for my wedding. The state didn't pay for if I christened Zach. The state wouldn't pay for my my christenings. The state wouldn't pay for all these things for me. So I don't think it's right that... Oh, I put the wrong person to go there. So I don't think it's necessarily right that the UK taxpayer should have paid for the stuff when the royal family is wealthy enough that they could have paid for that themselves. That's my personal opinion. There is a lot of the institution that I don't agree with. For instance, how they treat Meghan and Harry, because I do 100% believe that comments were made about the ethnicity of the children. I 100% believe that, and I also 100% believe that they did not support Meghan post-birth, because they're not going to. They're supposed to be seen as these incredibly royal and stoic people. They're not going to admit they have mental health issues. They're not going to admit that they're struggling. They're not going to admit any of that. They're not allowed to. So I 100% believe that that is kind of how all of that went down. However, that doesn't mean I'm going to mock the death of somebody. Doesn't mean I'm going to hate members of the royal family. I might not appreciate the institution, but the people are different. Oh, this is the worst person I've had. We'll swap. But that's just me. That is just me and my opinion. And I understand that people have different opinions. Ouch. Oh dear. Let's swap for that. Yeah, so I mean, I get voicing your opinions, and I get stating. I don't agree with this, or I don't like this because of of X or X, Y, and Z. And I get having debates and proper debates, but just like you say, bitching and whining about it isn't gonna help. It's not gonna sort anything. At 69, she'd had a reign of 4 years, but post-mourning was not permitted at that time. Ah, interesting. Interesting. Oh, Julian's level 45. Awesome. Yeah, everyone's going to have different opinions, and there's no issues with having different opinions. But it's how you go about having those different opinions that is what's important. But either way, it was very sad. It was very sad seeing the family and knowing that they're in the processes of mourning and knowing that they probably can't mourn in the way that they would like to mourn because everybody is watching them. Yeah, okay, great. It's been wonderful to see you, Car. Thank you very much for for some of the history facts. I always very much appreciated in my streams. I love me my history. So yes, have a wonderful rest of your day. Hopefully we will catch you again soon. And then there we go. That's fine. Thank you for the reminder to have a drink. Oh no, it's not. That's not what I wanted, is it? That's the one I wanted. There we go. Right, so I need to find. I think. Have I got anybody else with either? I don't think I do. Do I? Don't think I have anyone else with like a ground type. Ooh, Vicky. Let's bring Vicky in. Yes, her son Charles is now Charles III. Which, to be honest, I didn't know if they were gonna do. I wasn't sure whether they were actually gonna have him because there was a whole big thing around it. So yeah, I wasn't sure whether they were gonna do that or whether they were just gonna kind of go ahead and skip. They didn't know, which is fair. No. That's the one I wanted. Yeah, Charles III. And bless him, he just looks so sad. I really, really felt for him because the thing is as well is that when you've got millions of people watching, millions of cameras on you, and millions of people watching on TV, you can't... You can't do what you want to do. You can't show the emotions that you want to show when you are in the processes of burying your mother. Although some of the funniest things that I'd heard about why people were angry at the Queen was because I think in their opinion because we've had more male kings than we've had more male kings. We've had more male leaders. We've had more kings than we've had queens. Somebody's genuine gripe with Elizabeth was the fact that she was 96 when she died and she didn't just abdicate the throne and give it to her son. And I just felt that was a really weird thing to be angry at the Queen for, that she either didn't just go ahead and die, or she didn't just for no reason give the crown to her son, because it was obvious that they had an issue with a woman being the head of state, So they just wanted, like, you could tell that they were panicking of, oh my god, it's not gone to a man yet. It's like, and that's okay. Everything's fine. But yeah, I really did feel for Charles, because I mean, like, he's having to take that job on at 73. Bless him. Hey, you're not allowed to avoid it. Hey, you're not allowed to do that. I realised there wasn't a nicer way I could say blow me off the screen. But yeah, so it's been a bit of a weird day today. Did appreciate the day off though. I'm glad I watched it though. We got some really nice photos of Zach watching it. Very nice photos of Zach. Of him just watching different bits and us not putting him there. But just kind of him going up to the screen of his own accord. Did you hear about the Simpsons The Simpsons have predicted everything, so that genuinely wouldn't surprise me. Some of the things that the Simpsons have predicted have just been so spot on, it's actually scary. But no, so I've been in the processes today of looking around for a new job, because for anyone that isn't aware, my work, and I know it sounds like it's such a pathetic thing to be angry about, so, but I think it's, I mean, like Dan's basically reassured me that this is always something that was going to happen, it's just come across a bit later than originally anticipated. So I currently live about a good hour or so drive away from where I work, which up until recently hasn't been much of an issue, because I've only been going onto campus like as soon as I came back off maternity leave. We were still in a lockdown, so we just basically worked from home the entire time, and then from last September they started to bring in that we're supposed to go on campus every so often, whenever it was needed, so we kind of did the best that we could, and eventually we kind of tied it down to a system where it was 2 days a week for every 5 days, so 2 days on campus for every 5 days worked, and that worked quite well. For me, it wasn't horrendous. But because Dan changed jobs, things kind of changed, and then in the process of that happening, in their infinite wisdom, that's gonna be Fred gone. Oh no, he's okay. He's just hanging on. So in the process of this happening, they decided that they were going to up it by an extra day, which sounds like it shouldn't be an issue. However, on the days that I'm on campus, I'm having to do approximately about 2 hours driving and running around to kind of get stuff sorted. So it just got to the point where I'm like, you know what, this isn't something that I can yeah, I'll swap it with that one actually, yeah. I was like, without sounding awful, this isn't really something that I can keep up. Especially with trying to stream. I mean, obviously, I can't necessarily use streaming as an excuse. I was like, but especially with me trying to stream, me trying to be a mum, and just keep a house going, it just got to the point where I was like, yeah, I think it's time for me to look for a new job. Somewhere just a little bit closer to home. It would be very sad. It is a lot to do, it is. And I kind of just turned around to work and said that in the hopes that they'd just be like, do you know what, yeah, you know, in your case we'll review it, things like that, because they've reviewed it for other people, So to put it into context, with the amount of running around I had to do last Tuesday, it was about a quarter of a tank of petrol. And so that means that if I'm having to go on 3 days for every 5 days work now, it works on average about 5 days over 2 weeks. So like essentially 1 week on campus, 1 week at home, 1 week at campus, 1 week at home. So with the amount of running around that I'd be having to do, the quarter of a tank of petrol, it means that I would use an entire tank. Plus an extra quarter. And to get to my car to halfway is about £35 to get it to half a tank. So you're looking at around about £140 over the month, just getting to and from campus and going and picking and throwing everybody up. And then it would then be car parking charges, which would then be an additional £40 a month. So it's going to be £200 a month in order for me to get to and from work and pick everybody up. And then there is the emotional turmoil, emotional part of it as well, of trying to make sure that I am picking everybody up, dropping people off where they need to go, making sure I'm on time, stressing out with traffic, etc. And I just spoke to them and was like, is there any chance that I can be kind of exempt from this, because I would hate to leave. I've been part of the team now for 3 years. I'm the only long-standing member of staff. Everybody else has either changed departments or just left. I was like, I'd hate to go under these circumstances. And they just went, well, we'd be sad to see you go, but we'd understand. So I was like, okay, so that answer is no then. You are not willing to make any concessions for me. Fine. So there's not really a lot I can do. And it is a shame. It is absolutely a shame. You fed in a minute there, actually. Yeah. But yeah, so like I said, it's not something I really want to do, and then all of a sudden I'm sat there like trying to job hunt and just no freaking idea what is best to do. So I'm like, do I look in schools, because I used to work in school. Lovage! Hey! How is it going? This is why I don't want a sport. I mean, to be fair, we don't have a sports car as well. We've got a relatively... It's not really a petrol guzzling car. It's a Ford Fiesta. Like, they're pretty hardy cars. So, it's not like I have this absolute beast of a truck that is like, oh, hey, I've just got a normal car. How's your day been, Lovage? Had a long day. Oh dear. Yeah, it's been a long one in relation to. I mean, I haven't been at work today, so I can't complain too much. Obviously, due to that's basically what we've been doing. We had the funeral up. Yeah, we had the funeral up. Definitely a weird day. On the corner to make money, and you be the. We talked about this the other day about setting up an OF, which is going to be me doing all the sexy tech and just looking at cable management, etc. in order to try and keep some money in. Because that's the other thing as well, is it's like if I if I took a reduction in pay in order to make up for the fact that it's at home, would it actually be a reduction of pay if I'm not you know, and not me not having to pay for petrol? I have to admit, I cried a little of them singing the national anthem and Charles almost bawling. I know. I just felt so sorry for him. I felt really, really sorry for him because, you know, he can't do what he wants to do. He can't be a normal person at a funeral. You know, he's burying his mother, who he's 73, I think. You know, he's very old to be, then all of a sudden all of this homage to him is just like, it's just a big slap in the face to be like, remember the fact that your mum's... Yeah, at least they have their private one, and I suppose it's quite nice in the sense that, you know, they're seeing the overwhelming love and support that the Queen had. But yeah, I mean, like, if that was me and I was having to bury my mum, I'd be like, can I just have a minute? Like, can I just have some time to... And bless him as well, he did the whole hour-and-a-half walk from Westminster. Was it from Westminster to Buckingham? It was when they left. It was when they left. And just like the knowledge that they took the stuff, like the crown and everything, off her casket, and then the next time that's going to be used is for him. Yeah, to Buckingham. I thought it was. Fred. Yeah, he did that whole walk. Like, that can't have been easy for him. I mean, I don't think I could have walked that, and I'm about 40 years younger than him. Bless him. Ouch. Again, with the confusion. I've just been saying about what I've been doing alongside watching the funeral. I mean, to be fair, they have to do it because it's a ceremonial walk. It's not like them walking as you normally would. It's very slow going. So that's probably a lot of it. But yeah, it was about an hour-and-a-half walk that they ended up doing. Perhaps if you'd walked normally, it wouldn't be that. I mean, you'd probably only take off about half an hour, but, you know, it's just that for an hour and a half, you literally just sat there staring at the casket of your mom. There we go. What's the matter? I'll feed you in a minute. I think it's an hour normal walk. Yeah, 40 Londoner speed. See, Dan walks at Londoner speed, so he probably would have done it in about 40 minutes. So then there's me going the actual route, slow march. So about an hour and a half is about right for me. I walk at London speed, but my legs are short. Bless you. Oh dear. Yeah, it's definitely been a weird one today. It's better. I was just telling Bleach though that I'm in the processes of looking for a new job at the moment. And I'm having all the fun associated with that. Actually, I'll leave it as that for now. Yeah. Take your head after this one. Can't relate now on a job, sorry. No, it's fine. Unfortunately, work have decided to be, as I said earlier, I feel bad. I feel like I'm being... Thank you. I do kind of feel a little bit like, oh, you're expecting me to go into the office, therefore I'm just going to go. But Dan basically just reassured me of saying that, hey, Kirby! Dan reassured me to say that this was always going to be the plan when I came back from maternity leave, that I was going to leave. It's just taken me a little bit longer because I've had the ability to work from home. It's been less financial pressure, less driving so much, whereas now that that's starting to go, I need to go back to my original plan and just say, yeah, you're not willing to meet me halfway with this, so I'm gonna have to go. How are you, Kirby? How's your Monday? How is your Monday? Having a look at doing a little bit of leveling up today. Also need to change my thing as well, don't I, now I think about it. Hey, could you stop with the slaps, please, mister? I don't appreciate it. Okay, good. Hey, you're supposed to, like... What you doing? What you doing, little papa dog? Macho fainted. No. Oh, come on. There's so many of you that are nearly level 45. How bad is explosion going to be for me? Yeah. Kirby comes in with a fart. Absolutely. I might... Is it even worth... I suppose it's more damage, so... That's messed up the first one. Ah, fair enough. Exactly. There is something that I need to tell Kirby, and I don't think he's gonna like me anymore. So, Kirby, do you remember how... so blame Skinny for this. This is completely Skinny's fault. Skinny did a channel point redemption. Of, I think it was renaming something. Oh, that was a name generator or something like that. And he chose the name Kirby Sucks for the next Pokemon that I caught. So I did catch another Pokemon, and so therefore it is called Kirby Sucks. But it's kind of Dialga. Yeah. So yeah, the god Pokemon is yeah. He's not talking to me anymore. I'm sorry, I had to. I promised I would. Actually, let's go you first. Guys, I don't think Kirby likes me anymore. I'm sorry. Like I said, blame Skinny. It's Skinny's fault. Absolutely 100% Skinny's fault. Don't you give me a scary face. So the one good thing about the funeral today was the fact that obviously that means that I wasn't at work today. I think he is. I think he's finding that unfollow button. I'm waiting for my 80 to go back down to 79. Right. The Olga is one of my favourites. The fact that it's still, which is my favourite, Dan. Plus Dragon, plus Dragon. I'm totally fine with it. Okay, that's alright then. So long as you're okay with it being named. I do wonder then whether this is going to actually ironically backfire on Skinny. It's like he was hoping to like mentally break you and you're like, oh no, actually I'm quite honoured to have a god Pokemon named after me in some form or another. Whee! That wasn't that affected at all. Neither was that. So I'll take it. No, this one. I feel like you would know where that is. Look at the freaking size of it. How? How does a fire punch work when the Pokemon isn't on the screen? Can somebody tell me? I feel like maybe I'm missing something. Oh, I said I would feed you, didn't I? I'm sorry. I need to go heal up my Pokemon, so when I go heal them up, I'll go give you some food. Literally just means that I suck because I got a cool legendary and he didn't. Ah, fair enough. I love it. I love it. What's that like? What's using speech to text? How effective is it? Because I do remember some of the I mean, to be fair, this was quite a while ago. I used to work for a special educational needs college near where I live, and they had speech to text, and they basically both agreed that it was the worst thing they had ever seen in their entire life. And this is designed for people that have special educational needs and therefore kind of need it to be effective. It's atrocious. Okay, good. It's good to know that nothing's changed in about 10 years. So it's about 9 years since I left. Oh, yeah, right. So they've got them to level 45, so we're going to go swap them out with some more people's. Okay, let me move some of these over, actually. Because they're all level 40s. Okay. But you don't have any ground moves. That's fine. And I tried to teach you some, and for some reason they didn't work. Because of course they didn't. Sorry, I'm just playing a bit of... I don't know whether to take Dialga to the next one, actually. I don't know whether it would actually be genuinely worth it. Right, have any of you got ground moves? I don't think you do. I think I am done for ground moves at the moment. Wait, I was going to say, hang on a minute, why are you in there? Seriously though, Talker is one of my favourites. I have a learning disability and hardly use. Yeah, I don't blame you. The only reason that the people that I used to work with kind of had to was purely because they weren't able to It was physical needs that rendered them unable to type or use any kind of things. I hate to say the word normally, but it very much limited the things that they could do, to the point where one of them, the speech, it wasn't quite speech to text, it was eye gaze, because they had no control of their body below their neck. So yeah, it wasn't a case of, oh, okay, this sucks, but I'll struggle through it. They were like, yeah, no, we physically can't use this, which was awful, because yeah, you can't really be making something that terrible for people that actually need it. It annoyed me. I had a lot of frustration about that. Okay, so I've got Vicky and Karen here, so these all have some sort of ground type. I guess I might as well just have a look at these and start from the bottom then. Not really much else I can do. Let me just check whether actually level 45 is enough. I have a feeling it should be. Oh my god, how have I got so many notifications on my phone? I think I literally just freaking sat down for 10 minutes. You should be okay. You should be fine. But yeah, so not ideal situations. Oh gosh, I didn't actually... Right, before I forget, I am going to go and feed Rufus, because otherwise he's going to eat me. And I'm going to be one of these people that you find dead on... Oh my god! What the frig? Yeah, well, at least you died as well. Jesus. Did not freaking expect that. Yeah, actually. Yeah. You don't know. Right, you. Let's get you fed. Ah yes, that respectable tabloid website. Oh my god, what was that? I'm back. Yes, I'll end up on one of those news articles. Woman ate by dog. What are you doing? You didn't. None of you did anything. You'll be the trending topic of YouTube's due crimes. Literally. What killed this woman? Turns out it was her papas. A job. Actually, Skinny! Hey, how are you? Skinny, seeing as you're here. The plan that you had of your channel redemption has kind of backfired a little bit because Kirby's happy that the next Pokemon that I caught was Dialga, and he's quite happy that it's named after it. So I'm sorry it backfired a little bit. Hey! 6th gym. Which is the 6th gym? Let me just check. Trainer card. Why? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that the fighting one? No, fighting one's the 3rd one. What's the 6th one? I can't remember what that is now, genuinely. So the ice gym was the last one. Oh, good luck on the ice gym. Like, I'm gonna... Steel! Steel is the 6th one, yeah. No, I'm just glad that it's on the record in Brilliant Diamond lore. I could not recognise that at all. Although I'm just looking up that apparently this gym is going to be an absolute pain in the bum because of the moves that he knows. Because there's only... Both of his electric types come ready to counter ground type Pokemon, so you'll need to be careful and take them out quickly before they hit you. That's going to be fun. For Ambipom you can use fighting type moves, and for Octillery you can safely use electric type moves. Ah, okay. So I could take Julian then. Kirby wasn't here earlier. I'm not sure if he's still here though. Hey! Welcome on in, Skinny! Enjoy the Discord group. Yes, I finally set up a Discord. Whoop whoop. There you go, and there's the next notification. I might have to change that, actually. To be fair, it's actually nice to see that Stream Elements is actually doing its job and putting it up about as regularly as it's supposed to. I went through a period of time when I first set it up. It just wouldn't do it until about like an hour in, and then it would start doing it. It was really weird. I don't know what it was. I don't know why it was doing it. I am official now. It's official when you set up a Discord. Hey. Hey. How much are you willing to pay for that wish? That's true. That's true. Okay, so I could actually take some electric ones with me. So I am going to need to get them a bit higher than level 45. Ugh. Man. One of them's passed out, aren't they? Yeah, okay, let's go heal up. Let's go heal up. I suppose I should just be grateful that Stream Elements works at any point during my stream. Never mind when I actually want it to. I don't get how it's an electric type gym, but it's only actually got only half the party that it has is electric types. It has a normal and a water type. How is that allowed? How is it allowed? I have a feeling that taking this one's probably going to be a good one. thinking he passed out on you. He did. That's fair. I don't blame him. I'd pass out on me too. So I suppose I could start him off with Yawn, couldn't I? Yeah. I have a plan. I have a cunning plan. I would need to see, though, whether ice actually works on Zack that well. Because if it doesn't, then I have a plan. I have a cunning plan, as cunning as a fox that went to Cunning University. Not better now. Is that full tummy full now? Dan's got some food cooking in the slow cooker and it smells lush. And I'm like, do I really need to wait for him to come home in order to have some? Or can I just, like, dip it?
You got your baited.
Hey!
You got your baited. You got your baited. Baited. Baited.
Trying to see whether I've actually caught one of those Swinlub things or whether I've just seen it. How do you feel about the Queen passing? I've seen reactions from devastated to nobody gives an F there in the UK. Ironically, we were just talking about this early in the stream. It's a slightly difficult one. Like, a part of me is sad because she has been part of my life for the entire time that I've been here. I've never known a different any other different heads of state. My parents don't know any other different heads of state. So for me, at least, it was strange and it's sad in the sense that she's passed away. I haven't been devastated. I've been sad seeing other people's reactions and seeing other people be very, very sad that, you know, that she has passed, and that always makes me sad, really. But I've not been to a point where I'm like, okay, this is the end of my entire existence. I am absolutely devastated. I can't function. Things like that. I don't agree with people making fun of her. I don't agree with people trying to make light of the situation. I feel that there's a time and a place, and not even waiting until she's in the ground before you start making jokes is not... It's not the way to go. Like, it's sad that she meant so much to so many people, and now she's gone. And we did watch the funeral today. Zack watched it a little bit. Obviously, he didn't really understand anything what was going on because he's a baby. But yeah, I feel like people use their personal feelings of the institution and take it out on the Queen, or they use their own gripes and sadness to kind of justify being angry at her, and it just doesn't really make any sense to me. That's just me. Yes, it is. So we had a bank holiday, so certain places still had to work. So for instance, take my place, because it's ironically for our students, it's Welcome Week. So we weren't able to completely shut everything down because students were coming in, and we could just turn around and be like, right, okay, welcome in students. For the first day, you get nothing. So certain places, if they wanted to, they could work. Certain things like the library had to open. I thought I heard something, never mind. You've got an precious event. Yeah, so things like that still kind of went, but myself personally, because I work for a head of department, I didn't have to go in and work. The rest of my team didn't work. A lot of the subject admin didn't work. We just kind of put a little out of office on to say, we ain't working, we'll get back to you tomorrow. But certain things shut. I think as well, some of the issues, so that for instance banks took it off, non-essential shops, they weren't working, Dan's place and Dan's previous place weren't working. Yeah, go home and watch TV. But some doctors, they weren't working, and I think this is kind of where some of the frustration that a lot of people have had with the whole event has been certain companies' reaction to it. So I understand places like mine and places like Dan's, it's a bank holiday, we wouldn't work on a normal bank holiday, nothing big or major is going to happen if I don't go into work. However, there were certain companies such as food banks that were closed, doctors which had already cancelled and rearranged vital hospital appointments, including surgeries, things that people have been waiting for ages and had worked themselves up into getting ready to go to, and suddenly they're just not going anymore. And then Center Parcs was the weirdest one. They said that they were going to kick out everybody who was inside any Center Parcs thing from Monday, and then allow them to come back in on Tuesday, which was just bizarre. It was just so weird. The other weird thing was that they stopped all funerals. And it's kind of like, you know, as sad as it is to lose the Queen, some people... I don't know, it was weird. It was really weird. They were only doing non-vital surgeries from what I heard. Yeah, but I'll... So I do have a bit of an issue with that. And I'm going to use an example that I heard recently, and it was on a TikTok, and it was a case of in America, and it was what they were saying about the Roe v. Wade turnover. And they were using an example of two different women who needed abortions due to fetal death. So that's where the baby has passed away inside the womb, and therefore they need an abortion to take the baby out, because you can't leave a deceased baby inside a mother, just for obvious reasons. So the first one, it took her about 2 weeks to actually get anything sorted, because she had to go to 3 different places and have 3 different scans, and also scans that required them to go inside the womb to check for heartbeats and things like that, and 100% verify by multiple doctors that the baby had in fact, or the fetus had in fact, was not viable and had no heartbeat and had died. Therefore it was a legally allowed abortion. And the second one was, so she said she started to getting a bit ill by the time she'd managed to get it out, but hers wasn't too bad. The second one was where she'd actually she started developing sepsis from it. And she still had to wait for 24 hours, even though she was rushed into hospital and she was put on all different kinds of stuff and she was being monitored, until they had verified that they had to wait for 24 hours as proof that the fetus was non-viable, to the point where they just watched her get sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker, because they couldn't do what they needed to do, because they were terrified of being sued or terrified of breaking the law. and she ended up on life support for a little while. I think she's okay now. But yeah, so stuff like that is why I found the whole thing of cancelling hospital appointments so strange. Because anybody that's saying, well, it's only 24 hours, 24 hours can literally be the difference between life and death for people. So why would you stop it?
Stop what?
Just talking about cancelling hospital appointments and stuff.
Well, they cancelled it for like a year for COVID.
Yeah.
24 hours.
Some states will even flat out deny it no matter, and you have to basically... Yeah, exactly. And then there's also the other things that people are concerned about is if they leave the state to go to a different state, it still means that they've technically broken a law. And therefore, are they then at the risk of having their right to vote taken away from them because they've broken the law? But yeah, either way, I'm not going to get into the whole Roe v. Wade issue because it frustrates me more than I'm willing to talk about. But I'll go back to the original point that yes, postponing surgeries and doctor's appointments and funerals is absolutely bizarre, particularly when you consider the fact that a lot of hospital appointments and checkups and things like that were already cancelled over COVID. And therefore, they're already having to deal with over a year of backlog. And then they then went, okay, well, we'll just stick another day on there. It's like, no, you're already at least you're already 2 years behind. Maybe not cancel anymore. And anyone that said, I mean, I feel awful saying it, but you know what you're getting into when you take a job like that. You know that you will not have birthdays, Christmas days, things like that. It's part of your job. You know, the same way that if Dan's place was opening on today, he wouldn't be able to say anything about that. He wouldn't be able to get upset because he's having to work a bank holiday. He understood that when he took that job. And it's like, so why is it suddenly different? Like, if you're that bothered, have a go at putting a holiday in. And I bet you 10 to 1 they wouldn't. If they had to sacrifice their own time, they wouldn't do it. Or maybe that's the cynic in me. Maybe that is a little bit cynical, but I don't know. I found it weird. I found it really, really strange. And I feel like it isolated a lot of people, because if you were burying your loved one today, and then you get a message to say, yeah, the burial of your loved one isn't happening anymore, you've just got to kind of shut up and deal with it. It's like, oh, so my loved one is not important. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too much into it. Maybe I'm reading too much into it.
His name is John C.
Oh my god, if somebody did that, that would have been hilarious. just somebody coming and going, his name is John Cena. The funniest part of it, though, I missed it, and I've only kind of seen it from Twitter, was the fact that Boris Johnson tried to break... so they have a specific order in which they want people to come in, which is... they go in chronological order based on when they were in Parliament. So, obviously, Theresa May came before Boris Johnson. In theory. So she was supposed to go through the doors before Boris Johnson. And Boris Johnson somehow, I think he bombed it up the stairs to try and get in before she did. And he had to be stopped. They stopped him at the door and they were like, no, you wait there. And then they allowed Theresa May to come through. And they were like, right, now you can go in. Yeah, and Cameron was supposed to go before both of them because obviously David Cameron was before then. And they just stopped them. And they were like, no, you're not coming in. You're breaking protocol. And they were like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. It was really funny. I don't think that probably helps the sentiment of the monarch being out of touch with the common people. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And then apparently he had a right sulky face on for the rest of the day. They didn't let me go in before Theresa May. I had to sit there and wait. Boris dishevelled and lost literally for a surprise. Yeah, and I think that's the thing that it's not actually the monarchy that sets any of these rules. So like, no one in the royal family were like, right, okay, you need every single person. It shut everything down. We want the NHS shut down, the whole of it. But they're the one that gets the stick, and it's not right. But they don't know where else to direct their anger. Because it wasn't like it was one specific place. Like, if it was just Center Parcs, it said, alright, okay, I'm going to kick everybody out, everyone would be like, you're mental. Like, what the hell are you doing? Whereas, because they don't have that luxury of having one targeted thing, and it's all these different companies, all the governments and things like that, it's easier to blame the people. It's easier to blame the people that are at the centre of it than it is to kind of separate the two. And like you say, whether it's misguided, then realise that the anger that they've got for the situation that they're in, it's misguided to blame the royal family because they do not have any power at all. They are more a representation and a figurehead. But yeah, they haven't done anything for a very long time. You know, it's the whole Magna Carta. Like they lobbed off somebody's head in order to make sure that the king had less power. It was kind of extreme. I mean, to be fair, he didn't really help. And then they realised that the person that they replaced was actually worse than the king, so they're like, would you mind coming back? Because this guy kind of sucks.
Talking about Cromwell.
Yeah. It's like, he banned all the fun things.
Yeah. Thing that brought back partying.
Yeah. They put some, you know, they put a bunch of gunpowder in a basement, they lobbed off somebody's head, you know, the usual way that you deal with any kind of issues that you have with your parliamentary. So please do not anybody.
Charles is going to bring that back.
Charles III is going to be like, right then, partying and gunpowder under Parliament.
I'm in charge now, bitch.
Oh my god, could you imagine?
You could tell that was look on his face.
Yeah.
Like, it's mine. It's mine.
He's like, I'm gonna put, looking at Liz Truss and the Conservative Party, like, I'm gonna bomb all of y'all.
Your mum said she cried.
Did she?
Yeah.
I thought she would.
She said she was fine until the coffin started to go down, and then they started playing the bagpipes, and then she was like, I'm out.
I'm done.
She said she managed the whole 6 hours until the very, very last bit, and then she was like, that's it.
Yeah.
I think she said it was the bit where they took all the stuff off the coffin.
Yeah, I thought that was really sad.
Yeah, when they took everything off.
That was very, very sad. Because it's like, the next time you're going to see that now, it's never going to be seen on her again.
Yeah, like when she left London, they were like, that's it.
That's it.
She's never going
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It was sad.
It was very, very sad.
You can't deny that it's
No.
not.
What is Fisher?
Hmm?
Oh, it's like a really low accuracy. That's gonna be fun. Okay, do you know what? Let's just run. Let's just run. Hey! I said run. Thank you.
when I got to the gym, it was quiet. There was nobody there.
Was
And then
it?
you could tell everybody just started finishing watching it because it all just got suddenly busy. I was
Yeah.
like,
I'll tell you what then. Let me see if I've got any decent TMs. Some ground TMs. Do I have any ground TMs? Dig. I know. Oh, for goodness sake. Right. Can you stop, please? There we go. Yes. Hmm. Might change it with that. Okay, so I'm not going to take Becky then. That's fine. So I have a legit question. Was that the Queen in Doctor Who, or was that a different person playing as the Queen?
I think it probably would be a different one.
Was the Queen in Doctor Who back on David Tennant?
It's the one, you know, where the Titanic nearly crashes into the Buckingham Palace and she's like, "Thank you, Doctor." And she waves.
I genuinely
I don't think that was the Queen, that.
Let me have a look.
I think the only thing she's ever appeared in was the Olympics opening ceremony, you know, with James Bond.
Yeah.
And then she did the Paddington thing, didn't she? For a Jubilee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I do love the idea that she was a low-key Doctor Who fan.
Yeah.
But she was. She was also in the Matrix. She was in Johnny
I was
English.
going to say it's going to come with on. She was also... See if I've got any other.
She probably would have been up for being in Doctor Who. Though,
I think she
'cause, like,
probably
say,
would have been up for
she was
it.
up, she was up for a lot of stuff, weren't she? She was a bit. She didn't really care, did she?
No.
She was a bit like.
She genuinely didn't, bless her.
She was like, yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, safe so far. Uncredited cameo. Right. Okay. So. So I've got Julian. I do need to take a couple of an electro in. So I'm going to swap with you. There we go. Who's your favourite Pokemon that you have? I don't know actually. I do still like my Ponyta. And my Luxray. They're quite good. Right, I'm not gonna bother taking this one. Where's the end of? I'm going to take my Luxray. Because I do need to get them to a decent point. So So I need to get them all, actually. I really don't know whether to take... See, ironically, Fred's attack is actually more than Dialga's, but his special attack is a lot higher. So I really don't know whether to cheat and take Kirby in and just be like, right then, let's do it. So I think definitely take you don't have Yawn though, that's the only issue. Do I have Yawn as a TM actually? Smash, stealth, flash, rock 2, cut. No, I don't. I think Pokemon and Digimon should do a game together. That would actually be kind of cool. I want to Dialga. So after you defeat the water type gym, sorry, the ice gym, which is going to be a pain in the bum, just a heads up. So have fun with that. You will have your opportunity to do just that. You'll be able to you have to go and defeat Team Galactic. And when you go to defeat Team Galactic, just a heads up, it's going to be a pain in the bum. Because you're going to have to defeat 2 of the commanders, and then you pretty much, so then whoever your friend was, so in my case it's Barry, once Barry heals you up, or your friend heals you up, they will then leave and leave you to deal with their general. And then after dealing with the general, you launch straight into the fight against Dialga. Now you have a choice, so the first time I did it, and I didn't realise this, I thought you had to defeat Dialga and then that would be it. You just catch it and it was all part of the story. Turns out, no. You have to catch it the same way that you would capture any. But you are given a Master Ball which will guarantee that you will definitely catch it. Otherwise, if you don't want to use that, you have to go through, I think a lot of people estimated it's about 40 Ultra Balls. Which, considering that one of its moves will instantly kill the person, like it will kill the Pokemon that you've got. It's called, so like Riot of Time of something. That will almost instantly wipe out your person. So yeah. Sexy sucks. Good lord. Yeah. 40. Yeah. That's a lot of balls. So that's why I was like, I'm not doing that. I got it into red. I threw a Master Ball at it. And I was done with it. That's like, I can't. I'm sorry. I cannot be dealing with that at all. To the boxes. So my strategy is going to have to change because I've just realised that Zach doesn't actually have. Wompadomp does, but Zach doesn't have the chill out. Ultra Balls especially, geez, okay, I'll stock up. So it is completely up to you whether you want to do that or whether you want to end up doing what I did, which was just being like, you know what, sod this, I'm just going to go straight into I'm going to go straight into just Master Ball. That's what I ended up doing, because I was just like, no. Absolutely no way am I dealing with that. So think if I go 1, 2, 3, Yeah. Ah. So 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, or 4, and then Mabel and Brenda is 5 and 6. Maybe stick with them for now. So that's grass, but they said that they've got a thing that's good against grass, so that's not going to really work. I'll definitely just use the Master Ball. I won't be messing around with that. Yeah, I the other thing that you have to watch as well is that you don't do what I did, which was just end up killing it. So I recommend saving before you go in with the party that you plan on using, healed up and wherever. Save before you go into it, because then if you do end up accidentally knocking it out, you can bring it back. See, I could take these two actually, because they're not. They've got a thingy move, but they're not specifically. Oh no, they are ground type, aren't they? Really? Oh, it's difficult to know what to do. Okay. Power. I'm asleep. I never understand about catching them in a ball. Yeah, it's a bit of a bizarre concept, isn't it? Like you literally somehow magically, like, what does it look like inside a Pokeball? Is it kind of like, is it set up as like a smaller TARDIS type area that's bigger and it's just everything that they need inside of it? Because it looks kind of magical when you start throwing, when you start. Hey! Pokeballers used to have ownership over the Pokemon. It's true. But, hi Kainsey for starters. But yeah, I just... Oh, also, seeing as you're here, you set me a challenge in my last one. And I can officially state that I was successful in my challenge. I was able to capture it. I gave up in the end and just used the Master Ball because I was just like, I can't be dealing with that. Yeah, it took more than a few attempts because either it wiped my party out or I wiped it out, and I was like, yeah, I need to Oh, with the Pokeball. Oh, no. At this point, you should just be lucky that I even caught it. Because the first time I didn't realise, and I thought that you would just get it after the fight, so I wiped it out. And then it was like, oh, okay, good. And then you started to leave. I was like, hang on a minute, do I not get it? I thought I was like, what? Yeah, so ended up having to do a bit of a hard restart on that one. Luckily enough, I'd saved it just before the encounter. Okay, I don't know why that would switch that off. Have you got going on? No, I don't. Because I've not been able to... Nobody's offered to trade anything yet. So a lot of my ones that still need trading things still need to be trading. And I didn't want to bug anybody. Let me load up. I'm still going to be here leveling up at the moment, so... Somebody was in the other day saying that they were trying to get a shiny, I think they've got Shining Pearl, so they were trying to get the shiny version of the legendary Pokemons, and I was like, oh, I think this has something ridiculous, like the chances of it happening are like 0.008% chance of getting one. Shiny Palkia, yes, that's the one. They're trying to get that one, and then the shiny Dialga. Oops. Yeah, that's majorly long. Yeah, I wish them the best of luck, but... I mean, to be fair, Bleach, I think even if you had played the game, I still don't think you'd necessarily know. But yeah, basically you go into the wild, you find a whole bunch of poor Pokemon that are just trying to live their good life, and you just go, get in there. Get in this Pokemon. Just realised these wouldn't be the best people to take in anyway to combat an electric one. Either way, I don't even think it's really understanding it at this point. It's just accepting that this is the thing. Don't know, I'm saying we like it's my side. But yeah, I really want to know what the inside of a Pokeball looks like. Whether it is essentially whether it's data and they somehow manage to convert them to just the equivalent of a Word document that then reconverts them back into their animal form when you kick them out to fight. I don't understand how they work. There was a video on it, obviously, a comedy thing. Oh god, I genuinely dread to think. Do I have one of you? I don't think I have one of you. I'll see if I can capture one. Ah. Rudeness. Oh dear, I'm getting tired today, folks. Oh gosh, and I've got the next 2 days on campus. Oh, that's a lot of running around I'm gonna have to do the next 2 days. Oh, yay! That's fine. It's not like I wanted to capture her or anything. To be fair, leveling up is fine. Oh, hello. What's all this then? Dig, 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 dig. Again, I feel like you'd see it. Boop. Got a photo of my little one from my mum. See what she's saying. Oh my god, why can I not spell? Oh, for goodness sake, I give up. Even my phone doesn't even know what I'm trying to say. My phone's looking at me like, nah, I can't help you here, love. He's eating, that's what it is. He decided not to eat his lunch, and then he's gone over to my mum's, and he's just basically eaten her out of house and home in the first half hour he's been in. So that's my boy. Bless him. We introduced him to Orbeez today. Well, yesterday/today. We brought like a whole tub of them. And everything at mine isn't there. Yeah, poor Dan cooked him fish fingers, some potato waffles, everything that he liked, some veg. He just didn't want any of it. Went over to his grandma's and he's eaten most of his dinner, most of my mum's dinner, and then is now chowing down on a whole bunch of biscuits. So he's eating out of cupboards. Oh yeah, Zach knows where his biscuits are at my mum's, and he will just literally, he'll go in, he will go and fetch the tub himself, and then he'll go and bring it to one of them to open it up for him. And in fact, if anything, he's learning how to open up. It's one of those clip ones. Do you know the ones where you it's like a metal catch and you have to flick it up and then take it off the lid. It was on like old jars and stuff. Yeah, so he's learning how to do that. Oh yeah, absolute little monkeys. I love them though. It's a good job. Ow. 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 Come on! It's beyond a joke now. Yeah, at least... See, this is the other thing I don't understand. If you're digging and you're underneath the ground, how can certain moves still affect you? I don't understand. Somebody explain to me how that works. But yeah, so we anyway, we introduced him to Orbeez and they went down incredibly well with him. I told him he didn't, and he started straining. Wow! I shouldn't laugh, but it's like, right. They're such little sods. I love them to bits, but they're such little sods. Cheeky monkeys. That definitely sounds like something Zach will do when he's older. But yeah, so anyone who doesn't know what Orbeez are, they're basically water retention beads. We brought a pack, I think they were like 11 quid from Asda for a whole mountain of them in a load of different colours. And they already come ready to go, so they've already been soaked in water. But yeah, that's always something to note, is if they get to the point where they do shrink because they're out of water, just stick them in water for a bit and they will enlarge again. But apparently they're really good for like sensory kids, and Zach is very sensory based, because they have the feeling of it being wet. It's also slippery. It's also quite a nice sensation, and you get to move them around and stuff. So like loads of people have been going on and on and on about how amazing Orbeez are for sensory based kids. So we brought him some, and the only downside with it is because it's now worked too well, to the point where we took the Orbeez off him to try and get him to go for a nap, and oh boy did he let us know about it for about 15 minutes. He just sat being incredibly sad at us. So we had the audacity to take away his Orbeez. He was not happy with us at all. Oh, come on. Okay. Yeah, might as well finish it off. What's things been like around you, Kainsey, in relation to the Queen's funeral today? We've not really had anything around us. We've got a couple of people that have flags up anyway, but we've not had like loads of people out in the street trying to do all the kinds of celebrations, etc. It was just everything was closed till 5. Yeah, very, very similar over here. Another normal day. I just wasn't at work. Which, to be fair, just reminded me of the days that I used to not be at work on Mondays. God, I miss those days. I miss those days. You spite. They spite you. Rude. Pokemon being rude. Nah. I'll be here, we're playing my Steam Deck. Okay, that's fine. What are you gonna be playing? I'll probably need to be finishing up soon anyway myself, because I've got Genshin bits to get done on 2 different accounts, and then I've got to go on campus tomorrow, so I'm gonna have to actually get up vaguely early-ish. Ugh, disgusting. I have to actually do my job that I'm paid to do. Ew. I mean, to be fair, I had to go put my out of office on, and I've seen that I've got like 40 emails, so it's definitely going to be a busy one while I get stuff sorted. Resident Evil 5, oh nice. Which is the boulder punching one? I don't know the game apart from boulder punching. That's literally all I know of a game. So I remember watching it being like, no, I work. I'm not quite a PA, but I am almost a PA to the head of department the deputy heads of department for the Department of Computer Science and the Department of Biosciences at my one of my local universities. For now, there is a more than definite chance that I will be looking elsewhere for jobs at the moment, because unfortunately work is requiring, I know it's a it's a very mild humble brag, but yeah, basically at the moment I think I said before, I think it was always going to happen as soon as I had Zach because of the distance away, but while ever we were working from home it wasn't horrendous, whereas now it's gotten to the point where it's now no longer possible for me to keep up the drive to and from work and going here, there and everywhere to try and help out with Zach's childcare, etc. And with them wanting me to come on campus more and more, it's just going to get more and more ridiculous, and it's going to be more and more expensive. It's going to work out soon as being about £200 for me to get on and off campus. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so yeah. It's not going to be a good one. So I will be very sad because I've been there since 2019. Yeah, would have been about 2019. So I've been there, and the team's probably the best team that I've had since I've started working there. So it would be incredibly sad to leave, but it's getting to the point where I'm spending money to go to campus, and that's not what I want to be doing. I need to get Mini-Wes to ready for bed. Have fun. Say hi to the Mini-Wes for me. And yes, I will see you soon. I'll probably be needing to finish up in about 10 minutes myself because dinner is smelling lush. Dinner is smelling really lush. And my tummy is growling. See if I can get one more to level 45. And then the next time I play it, I need to make a decision of who my party is going to be. I think I kind of have it down, and then I think I'm going to need to aim to get them. I think the most powerful Pokemon in there is going to be level 49, so I'm probably going to need to aim to get them to level 50. But I've got some of them to level 45 already, so then that should help. That should help. Yeah. I did say about 10 minutes. That's fine, because it's going to take 10 minutes to cool down from my standards anyway.
True. You don't want to burn your tongue.
I do not wish to burn my tongue.
Like Isaac.
Oh yeah, yesterday, daft little boy. We went out to a restaurant. If you were in yesterday's stream, you'll have heard all of our frustration about getting a meal at that restaurant anyway. But yeah, I kept trying to give him. So I ordered a starter, which was just some bread, because ordinarily Zach loves bread. So I was like, it gives us the opportunity for him to have a snack and eat something while he's waiting for his dinner to cool down. And he picked one of the one bit of food up. I think it was a chip, it was a chip, And I said to him, I was like, don't eat that because that's going to be really hot and you're going to burn your mouth. Not an unreasonable request. And he was like, no, I'm going to try it anyway. Put it in his mouth. What happened? It was incredibly hot. He cried a little bit. I gave him some...
brave though, wasn't he?
He was very brave. It was just like, oh, that's hot. So he did do a little bit of a cry. I gave him some bread and he soon got over it. And then he tried again.
Seconds later.
A couple of seconds later, after he'd finished the bit of bread that he had, obviously, it was still very hot. Again, tried to warn him. Again, didn't really care. Ate it, cried, had a bit of bread, tried a third time,
The boy just loves chips.
and then was just like, okay, it's still going to be hot. So what he ended up doing was just eating it really quickly. And then was like,
just burning
it's
his mouth
fine.
quicker.
Yeah, so then he would cover his ears in like a, ow, this really hurts, but at the same time, them chips be life. And then I kept trying to give him bread to be like, mate, no, come on, don't be daft. And he would just get more hysterical that I wouldn't allow him to essentially burn his mouth on chips. But then they weren't horrendously bad, and then it got to the point where they genuinely were a little bit cooler and they were more manageable. But yeah, my baby makes no sense. No, to be fair. To be fair, he does. He is not the normal child, bless him. Babies be funny. Well, we've got to get one more level up before we go. We're nearly. Got to do one more. Come on. Earth power. This makes me feel better that these are almost wiping out something the same level as them. It reassures me a little that we might actually be able to do this without too much of an issue. Why does that sound like a chicken? See, that's the useful thing though. That's why I'm half tempted to take these, because they're part one and part the other. He's just tried to do that and it didn't work. Maybe I will have to actually take them. Maybe Vicky needs to be part of it. Unfortunately, she doesn't have Yawn anymore, because that would be a good one. Because I have a feeling it's probably the ground part of her that's like, that counteracts the water part. So the metal sound works. Ouch. See, that's what I'm wondering. I don't think they've got Yawn anymore either. Let me see actually whether an ice attack, because one of them has Ice Fang. So would Ice Fang actually affect it? To use Earth Power, I just want it to double edge. I don't, that's just a normal one. Can you use a nice move, please? I have things I need to see. I have experiments to do. Come on, use an ice. No. You're not going to do it, are you? God damn it. I'm guessing not. I'm guessing not. Yeah, because it's going to knock him out now. Maybe we can have another look at it. Oh, come on. No, we need to do one more. Because that is stupidly close. That is stupidly close to the next level up. I'm not leaving that there. Come on, Pokemon. Come on, Pokemon. Come on, Pokemon. Come on, come on. That's it. Ah! We can have another attempt. Have another attempt. Come on, we got this. We got this. Oh, stop using Ingrain. I need you to use the ice part of you. I'm guessing it's fine because the thing doesn't buffer it that much. Stop using Ingrain. Attack me. Attack me, you little witch. Yeah, because that doesn't do that much damage. What the frick is Swagger? Oh. Okay, so this is the thing nearby that I've become confused. Okay. That's a really interesting move. Why would you voluntarily use that? This is slow. School bash. That's not a... Come on! Okay. Yeah. I'm literally going to be right. Nah. Ow. Why will you not use an ice? Ouch. The hell, stop. There we go. On do we go. Was effective enough. Alright. Come on. Dig. No. Might not be too bad actually. Decide who we are going to raid. Thank you. It's effective enough. Finally. Okay. We got what we wanted. We've now got another one at level 45. And I am going to leave that here today. Yay. Right. Let's... There we go. Thank you so much for watching. Let's go set up a raid. Let's go and raid... Let's go raid Ginny. She's playing some Dungeons and Dragons and we've not played that in a very, very long time. So it looks like it's going to be a whole bunch of fun. So as always, thank you everybody for viewing, following, chatting. It's been wonderful to see you all. Love and appreciate all of you. And the next time I have a scheduled stream isn't until the weekend. But hopefully I'll have some time before then. So I will see you soon. Take care of yourselves. Bye.